Hi there, I'm Vanessa Caldwell. I'm 32, a graphic designer living in Seattle. My apartment? Small but cozy, filled with half-finished projects and way too many houseplants. I've always been the artsy type. Life was good. Freelance gigs, close friends, and my family, especially my brother Derek. We were thick as thieves growing up. Then Derek met Natalie. At first, I was thrilled. She seemed perfect, charming, funny, the whole package. But oh, was I in for a surprise. Hey sis, what do you think of Natalie? Derek asked me after their third date. She seems great, Dare. I'm really happy for you, I said, meaning it with all my heart. Fast forward 3 years, and now I'm gritting my teeth every time we're in the same room. Don't get me wrong, Natalie's still charming, but only when there's an audience. When it's just family, that's when her true colors show. Take last Thanksgiving. I brought my signature pumpkin pie, and Natalie just had to say, "Oh, how quaint. I thought we agreed I'd do dessert this year." Did we? I replied, trying to keep it light. Must have slipped my mind. Derek, bless him, tried to smooth things over. Come on, Nat. There's always room for more pie. But the damage was done. The rest of the night was full of those little jabs. Oh, Vanessa, still single? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually. Or, that outfit is so brave of you. I could never pull off something so unique. Each comment was like a paper cut, small but sharp. And they just kept coming. I tried talking to Derek, but he'd always brush it off. That's just Natalie's sense of humor, Van. She doesn't mean anything by it. But I knew better. I saw how her eyes narrowed when Derek and I shared an inside joke, or how she conveniently interrupted every time we tried to have a conversation alone. Eventually, I started dreading family gatherings. Me, the girl who used to live for our chaotic Caldwell get-togethers. You okay, V? My best friend Marcus asked one night over pizza and beer. You've been kinda quiet lately. I sighed, picking at the label on my bottle. It's just family stuff. Natalie's really getting to me. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Natalie? Derek's wife. I thought you liked her. I did. Or, at least I tried. But I don't know. It's like she has a vendetta against me or something. Have you talked to Derek about it? I snorted. Yeah, right? He thinks she walks on water. Besides, I don't want to cause problems. Marcus gave me a long look. Sometimes, V, you've got to rock the boat to keep it from sinking. I knew he was right, but the thought of confronting the situation made my stomach turn. I'd always been the peacekeeper. Stirring up drama went against everything I believed in. But as the weeks went by, things got worse. Natalie's comments became meaner, her actions more blatant. She'd accidentally delete messages from Derek inviting me to dinner, or conveniently forget to pass along details about family events. It felt like I was losing my brother, my family, and I had no idea how to stop it without making everything blow up in my face. Little did I know, the real explosion was yet to come, and it would change everything. I pulled up to Evergreen Park for our annual Caldwell family picnic. The sun was shining, but I felt a chill when I saw Natalie's icy stare from across the lawn. I took a deep breath and plastered on a smile. Hey everyone, I brought potato salad. My mom rushed over, wrapping me in a hug. Oh honey, you didn't have to, but I'm glad you did. Your potato salad is always a hit. I noticed Natalie's lip curl slightly. I made potato salad too. I guess great minds think alike, right, Vanessa? I forced a laugh. Guess so. The more, the merrier, right. The afternoon progressed with the usual family chaos. Kids running around, uncles arguing about politics, and my cousin starting an impromptu volleyball game. I was starting to relax, finally enjoying the light-hearted atmosphere. Van, come play horse shows with us. My brother Derek called out. I jogged over, grateful for the distraction. Prepare to be demolished, little bro, I teased, grinning as we started the game. We were mid-laugh when I heard Natalie's voice cut through the noise, sharp and shrill. Vanessa, what do you think you're doing? I turned, confused. Playing horse shows? No, I mean, why are you sitting there? She marched over, pointing at the lawn chair I'd settled into between turns, her face flushed with anger. Oh, I just needed a quick breather. Is there a problem? That's my spot, Natalie snapped, her voice low but full of venom. Everyone knows I always sit there at the family picnic. I blinked, taken aback. I didn't realize there was assigned seating in public park. I can move if it's that big a deal. It is a big deal. You're always trying to take what's mine. The hostility in her tone made me flinch. Derek stepped in, trying to calm things down. Babe, come on. It's just a chair. There are plenty of others. But Natalie whirled on him, her eyes blazing. Oh, so now you're taking her side? Typical. I stood up, hands raised in surrender. Look, it's fine. I'll move. No need for drama. As I bent down to grab my water bottle, something caught my eye, a flash of metal glinting in the sunlight. My breath hitched. Natalie had picked up a pair of garden shears from a nearby toolbox. Natalie, what are you? Before I could finish, she lunged at me, shears raised. I stumbled backward, crashing onto the grass as the sharp blades missed my face by inches. My heart raced as she screamed, eyes wild with fury. You think you can just waltz in here and take everything from me? I'll show you what happens to homewreckers. Chaos erupted around us. My dad and uncle rushed to restrain her, while my mom yanked me to safety. Derek stood frozen, shock etched across his face. What the hell, Natalie? I gasped, still trembling. Have you lost your mind? She struggled against my dad's grip, her voice dripping with spite. You've been trying to come between Derek and me since day one. Miss Perfect, Miss Sweet. Everyone loves Vanessa. Well, I'm sick of it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you kidding me? I've bent over backward to make you feel welcome, and this is how you repay me? By trying to stab me with garden shears? Derek finally snapped out of his daze. Natalie, this is insane. You need to calm down. Don't you dare tell me to calm down, she shrieked. If you had any backbone, you'd stand up for your wife instead of always siding with your precious sister. I watched as Derek's face crumpled, torn between the woman he married and his family. In that moment, it hit me just how deep this toxicity ran. As the sound of approaching police sirens filled the air, one of my cousins had apparently called 911. I made a silent bow. No more playing nice. No more walking on eggshells. It was time to stand up for myself and protect my family from Natalie's poison. The idyllic family picnic had become a nightmare, but it was the wake-up call I needed. Things were going to change starting now. The days following the picnic blurred into one anxious stretch. Every sudden noise made me jump, my heart racing whenever the doorbell rang. When my phone buzzed, I saw Derek's name flash across the screen. Again. Van, please, can we talk about this? He begged. I sighed, pinching the bridge of my nose. What's there to talk about, Derek? Your wife tried to stab me. She's really sorry, he insisted. It was just a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. My voice rose. Derek, she came at me with a weapon. How do you misunderstand that? There was a long pause. Look, Natalie's agreed to go to anger management classes. Can't we just move past this? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Move past it. Derek, do you even hear yourself? After hanging up, I called Marcus. We met at our favorite coffee shop where I spilled everything. Jesus, Van, that's insane, Marcus said, his eyes wide with disbelief. What are you going to do? I stirred my latte absently. I don't know. I feel like I'm going crazy. Am I overreacting? Marcus leaned forward, his expression serious. No way. This is serious. Listen, I've got some contacts in the PI world. Let me do some digging on Natalie. I hesitated. I don't know, Marcus. That feels invasive. Invasive? He raised an eyebrow. More invasive than attacking you with gardening tools? Point taken. A week later, Marcus called me, his voice tense. Van, you need to see this. Can you come over? At his apartment, he laid out a stack of documents. Natalie's been busy. 2 restraining orders from ex-boyfriends, a sealed juvenile record, and get this, she was fired from her last job for embezzlement. My head spun. What? How did Derek not know about this? Marcus shrugged. She's good at covering her tracks. But that's not all, Marcus said, his voice tense. Remember that big client you lost last month? I nodded, confused by the sudden shift in topic. Well, I did some digging. Turns out, Natalie's been spreading rumors about you, telling potential clients you plagiarized designs and missed deadlines. The room seemed to spin. What? Why would she do that? My guess? She's trying to isolate you, cut off your income and your support system. A wave of nausea washed over me. I have to tell Derek. Be careful, Van. People like Natalie don't go down without a fight. I agonized for days about how to approach Derek. Finally, I invited him over for dinner, determined to have the conversation. As soon as he arrived, I could see the unease on his face. Thanks for coming, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Derek shifted uncomfortably. Yeah, well, Natalie wasn't thrilled about it. I took a deep breath. Derek, there's something you need to know about Natalie. My mom, who had been in the kitchen, now stood in the doorway, concern etched into her face. What's going on? I exhaled slowly, feeling the weight of what I was about to say. She's been sabotaging my business, and there's more. She has restraining orders from her past. She embezzled from her last job. Derek sat frozen, his face turning pale as I laid out everything. My dad's voice broke the silence, tight with tension. How do we know this is true? I pulled out the documents Marcus had gathered. It's all here, Derek. I didn't want to believe it either, but the doorbell rang, cutting me off. It was Marcus, looking grim. Van, you need to see this. He switched on the TV. There on the screen was Natalie being led away from her office in handcuffs. Natalie Williams was arrested today for embezzling over $500,000 from her employer, the reporter announced. The room fell silent. Derek's voice, when he finally spoke, was hollow. I'm filing for divorce. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind. Derek moved out of the apartment he'd shared with Natalie, and I helped him find a new place. Natalie's lawyer reached out, desperate for character witnesses. Please, Vanessa, Natalie begged me over the phone one afternoon. I know I messed up, but I can change. I'll get help. I stayed firm. I'm sorry, Natalie, but no, you've had your chances to change. It's time to face the consequences of your actions. As her trial approached, I threw myself into rebuilding my design business. With Natalie's sabotage exposed, old clients came back, and new opportunities poured in. One evening, after a long day of work, Marcus dropped by with takeout. Thought you could use a break, he smiled, setting the containers down on my desk. As we ate, I realized just how much I had come to rely on him. Thanks for everything, Marcus. I honestly don't know how I would have gotten through all this without you. He reached out, giving my hand a reassuring squeeze. Hey, that's what friends are for. But the way he looked at me made me wonder, maybe we could be more than friends. Months passed. Natalie was sentenced to 5 years in prison for embezzlement, and Derek started therapy to work through the trauma of their relationship. As for me, my business was thriving, my relationship with my family was stronger than ever. And Marcus and I were exploring what could become of our new relationship, taking things slow but steady. One day, I received a letter from Natalie in prison. She apologized, saying she was getting help and that she finally understood the harm she had caused. Part of me wanted to believe her, but I knew better now. I wrote back a short note. I hope you find peace, Natalie, but our paths won't cross again. As I sealed the envelope, a sense of closure washed over me. I had stood up to the toxicity, protected myself and the people I loved, and come out stronger for it. Life wasn't perfect, but it was real, and it was mine. That night, curled up with Marcus, watching a movie, I realized something. I was happy, truly happy. I had faced my worst fears and survived. Whatever came next, I knew I was ready. The story of Vanessa and Natalie has come to an end, but now I have a question for you. How far would you go to protect your family from a toxic person? Would you investigate their past or confront them directly? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales of survival and justice.